Maybe I shouldn't say that, but if they want to sponsor us.
David, moving on. What is the next question?
What are you doing sharing a microphone with herpes super spreader Usher? Like, he's got a good point.
I feel like
he's got a good point.
Okay. He is on his knees.
Did you squirrels dig?
There's something wrong with you.
I just want to eat my chicken nuggets in peace. Maybe women should be allowed to vote.
Sir, what?
Welcome back to the HISxHERS Podcast, episode 63.
Ooh.
63.
Getting closer to that 69, you all.
Yeah, I don't even know. Why do we keep hyping up 69? Like, what are we going to do?
It's just like one of them things, you know? What's up, y'all? Welcome back.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. Thank you so much for coming and joining us to start your week off right. Okay.
We got some questions that you guys sent that we're going to go ahead and answer.
Yeah, get you small souls. They just want to know all the business and all the tea all the damn time. No, I don't blame you.
But I think, honestly, the reality would probably bore them. Like, we're pretty boring people, man.
Yeah.
Like, we don't.
Yeah.
I think people would be pretty disappointed if they were with us on a day-to-day basis.
Like they would. I hope you guys would want us to have like a very chill.
Yeah, there's no like
non-tumultuous.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're just normal people. We work and we take care of our kids.
Now you're giving the celebrity talk. We are just normal people, you guys. We live just like you.
We're not a celebrity, although I did get recognized at Wendy's the other day.
He did.
But telling Nikki, I'm like, I'm always getting recognized. So annoying. Just want to eat.
Meanwhile, I'm in Walmart, like trying to get my brother's gift card and stuff for his birthday. I get back in the truck. David's like, so I just got recognized.
Just want to eat my chicken nuggets in peace.
Yeah, my glamazon works at Wendy's. She be hooking it up. She's very sweet, and she always says hi.
Yeah, she's nice. She says she loved your videos.
Oh, I love her.
So we got some questions. Are you ready?
Most
of these are going to be for you.
Why?
I don't know. No. I'm not going to answer the questions.
There should be questions for both.
Well, there's some questions for me, but here's the one I know you've been waiting for. Oh, no. What are your guys' thoughts on the Keke Palmer situation?
Oh, there has been so much discussion about this, and I feel like it is so silly. Mm-hmm. It is so silly. It was her. Okay. Let's enter this logically, okay? Because I don't like entering things emotional, so I'm not going to get emotional about it. Okay. So let's enter this logically.
Okay, don't get mad at me.
I ain't going to get mad at you. I want you to tell me your honest opinion about it, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so logically speaking, we have these two adult individuals.
Yeah.
They are unmarried. They have been together for a few years, and outside of that, that's all they are to each other. And then they had a child together, right? So, right at this point in time, they are baby mom, baby daddy status, okay? Now, I only bring this up because people like bringing up tradition, and I want to make it clear. Boyfriend and girlfriend, though, right? Yes, they are boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay. But I want to make it clear that inside the confines of tradition, they're already starting out non-traditional, okay? So I just don't feel like that's a proper argument in this debate. Like, it's a traditional woman thing because they're not starting out from a traditional basis, a foundation that's traditional. Not at all. Now, it's her birthday. It's her birthday. I feel like that's a huge point in this. That being said, everybody goes all out for their birthdays. And if they are together and he had an issue with her outfit, I feel like there was another way to let her know and to communicate that. If she chose to do it anyway, then that's something that they need to handle amongst themselves. I feel like people get their preferences and their boundaries misconstrued. When it comes to your preferences, you have 100% right to have your own preference about anything. Let's just say his preference is, I don't want my girl out there with booty cheeks out. That is his preference. Okay. Now, when it comes to your preference, that means that like you are making this decision with your preferences in mind, especially when it comes to having a relationship. But however, if you know that this person is in the public eye, she's sexy, she's grown, she's always been outspoken, she always goes to these events with or without you, she's had a career with or without you. She also has longtime friends, including Usher, that date back to before you guys were even together, which nobody is taking into consideration. And at the end of the day, your preferences should have been made known in the beginning. Now, when you have boundaries, that means that you're letting this person know, like on top of your preference, like that you already know about, I have my boundary right here. And you don't get to make like a boundary as important as a preference in my mind. I feel like a preference is kind of held in higher regard. Like, this is my preference. Whereas like my boundary is like, I can do this in the confines of this space, but then there's a boundary there. So it's almost like a compromising situation. It's a compromise. That is my boundary with this. So my whole issue is that if this is in fact a preference, that should have been established a long time ago. Secondly, the way in which the communication was had was childish and public and completely uncalled for. And thirdly, I feel like people are just like making this into it. She was not giving him a lap dance. Like, she wasn't doing. He grabbed her by the waist.
Pretty friendly though.
He grabbed her by the waist.
You got to concede that. She was pretty flirty.
She was pretty flirty. Well, what do you consider flirty?
They're like. I don't know. If I saw a dude grabbing you like that, I'd be like, whoa,
but I'm your wife. But you know what? When I was working at Diamond Cabaret and I was a cocktail waitress, you were good with it because you trusted me. And at the end of the day, like, and it was the same thing, baby. I'm out there in corsets, booty shorts, and fishnets. You know what I mean?
But I'm also not like I'm not like a controlling guy either. I think he had other issues with it. And I don't know why he zeroed in on the outfit. Like, the
outfit, I mean, she's wearing a sheer dress. She's got the booty cheeks out. She looked good.
The outfit's like almost kind of like what you're gonna wear to Chicago.
Come on now. No, it ain't.
The sheer pants or the sheer
no, I
leggings
changed
or whatever.
It up at the last second.
And I showed you. No more?
I showed you the other one. Do you remember it?
You showed me a lot.
But I'm definitely not wearing a sheer dress. Look.
Nah, yeah. No, for sure. Like, you got to understand, like, first of all, he's an idiot for vocalizing that on Twitter. I don't know why you would ever go to Twitter with anything personal.
Do you
especially
think that
like
maybe
in your
he did that
relationship.
because, like, he voiced his opinion and she did it anyway? And
because
like he said,
maybe.
it's the outfit though. You a mom.
Okay,
that's the part where I'm like, sir, what?
I like.
What does that have to do with?
Like,
anything?
I could have respected it if he came out and was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Sharing a microphone with herpes super spreader Usher?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have been like, "He's got a good point.
I feel like
he's got a good point. He's got it."
Okay.
Did you disinfect it before? Like,
I don't agree with the mom part. I don't agree about the outfit part, but I do think that it was a little friendly of an interaction. Yeah. Like, I would not have had that friendly of an interaction. But, like, he didn't even mention that part. He just mentioned the outfit. Right. So
like,
it kind of, he lost merit. If he would have been like, that made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And, like, you shouldn't, like, I don't like it when you're, you know, that's valid. I feel like that's completely valid. Men have the right to express their feelings when it comes to how another man is around their woman.
I was like, you're mad at Keke Palmer for wearing that, which is not, it's not very.
It's a concert. You know it's her birthday.
But, like, you're mad at Keke Palmer for wearing that. And Kanye West was begging Kim Kardashian to put clothes on. He was like,
"Oh my God, for real!"
Like, that would have been like a turtleneck and like some sweats for Kim Kardashian standards. You know what I mean? So
ain't that the truth?
Like, if you're mad about that,
I remember her like turtleneck era. You guys remember Kim Kardashian's like head to toe era where she was like covering herself head to toe. You remember that? Not like it's. So many celebrities. How many celebrities have we seen? Megan Fox, Kim Kardashian, among the list of many others who have worn sheer dresses to make them look as naked as possible on red carpets, premieres. Like, why is this? And their wives. They're like
Sierra did it not that long ago.
Did she?
Yeah, and Russell Wilson is like this big old, like, portrays himself as like this big old Bible thumping guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But he's like out the party standing next to his wife, and she's wearing the shirt, and like that shit was like straight up see through.
Dang,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he wasn't tripping on it.
I think different guys have different preferences.
When do you recommend a mom returns to work? My anxiety of leaving my baby is a lot.
That is very hard. It really is. It depends on your kid. It depends on what your baby needs, and like, I don't know, man. Honestly, I feel like.
How long did it take for you?
For me to like want to go back to work and like be away from the babies, I ain't even gonna front like 6 months. Like, they are just so, and plus you know, like they're breastfeeding. There's different things to consider. Yeah. And the crazy thing about breastfeeding is that, like, even when you do pump, When your baby's eating, you're still producing, and you have to pump anyway, no matter where you're at. So I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like your body's telling you should be with your baby. I hate the fact.
Was it the same for each kid? Like, so, when you have, like, say for Ezra, did it take you longer to want to go back to work than, say, after you had Mila?
No, they were both the same.
I was going to say, because you kind of had them, like, back to back. So
yeah,
I was wondering, like, does it get easier with each kid? Or?
So little. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't get any easier. But I hate the maternity leave that we have right now. I don't think 6 weeks is nearly enough.
Yeah, it's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So you're saying 6 months?
Yeah. I do. I really do. I know that. I
just don't think a lot of people can
I just
do
feel
that.
like more employers should be a lot. And I'm not saying a full 6 months, but I feel like maternity leave and paternity leave and like family leave should be a thing. And I think that it should be like.
That's probably why.
It's bringing a new life into the world. How you going to tell me that I need to be back in 6 weeks?
It's probably why some companies be offering to pay for abortions.
David, moving on. What is the next question?
They do. They're like, we need you here.
I feel like this is like an interview.
It is. Nikki, hi. Do you plan on being more continuous on vlogging?
Quite possibly. Again, okay, you guys, so much has happened. Firstly, I need to get a new car. I'm whipping around in David's truck. Yeah. Okay. Secondly, I just have a very, like, in my mind, a mundane life. And sometimes I feel silly, like, just trying to film, like, me picking up groceries from King Soopers or something. And David always tells me, like, like, they want to see that. Like, they would love to see that. But you know what I need? I need a better vlogging camera.
Because, like, the way a vlog is just a story, like good vlogs. Like, you can't just put, like, together a bunch of random footage.
I don't want to bore you on.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think I love vlogging. I do love it. I'm gonna be straight up. The hang up right now is that I need a vlogging camera, period.
Yeah.
I cannot be hauling around the camera that we typically film on, like right now, because it's just not meant for vlogging, and because my phone situation, it's just not working out. Like, it's okay, but I want to have better quality vlogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do.
You're a great storyteller, so.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Like you could.
I'm definitely taking you guys with me on my trip to Chicago, and I'm gonna vlog that experience.
That'll be good. That'll be really good.
Yeah. Thanks for trying to act happy for me. Thank you. I appreciate the Emmy Award-winning acting.
I'm not gonna go that far. Calm down. I'm already dreading it.
Grammy.
Like, fuck. Mostly, I'm like, 5 days alone with the kids. Ugh.
I think you can do it. I know Julian and I. Okay, so here's what we're going to be talking about in the beginning. I don't know how we veered off, but it just worked out. It worked out to where Julian is going with his mommy on a trip, right? At the exact same time that I'm going to be going on my girls' trip to Chicago. So, because typically, Julian's very helpful with the kids. So when he's here, like right now, he's the one babysitting the babies right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And, I don't even feel bad about it because he begged
me
for his brother, especially. And I told him, I was like, if you have a sibling, you're going to have to watch them. He's like, I will, Mom. I promise. And I'll never complain about it. And so, like, I hold him to that every time. But he is such a good babysitter. But when we looked at the calendar and the situation, I was like, hey, babe, because David was like, I'll have Julian. And I was like, nope, no, you won't. I'm so sorry about it. You will not. We will both be out of the state.
Fucked me. Fucked me.
You're going to have a great time. I got some arts and crafts. I got some little projects. I want some little, I really want some arts and crafts when I get home. And I expect it. And I want some handmade stuff from the babies. Painting. I got everything that you need.
It's going to be made out of my tears and blood. That's what.
They're going to be fine. They're great. Well, they're just too many used, babe. It'll be fine.
They are demons. I don't.
Well, okay.
That they look like angels, but in reality.
Well, I took care of our baby and my panza while you were gone on your trip.
Okay. That's when it was easy. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I was in bed eating a heart-shaped pizza by myself.
I would have helped you.
Getting on a 10-foot bed all by myself.
Next question. Who has worn the pants in the relationship? By the way, love your story times, Nikki.
All right, let's just address the elephant in the room. Everybody thinks it's me. It's not. It is not. Okay? I am like the spokesperson but he makes the decisions. If you look around our home, like everything about our life is David's preference, okay? Everything about our life is David's preference. So if we go get pizza, we have to get it from Papa John's. If we go and get another meal, it has to be either Chipotle, Wendy's, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and Texas Roadhouse on a nice day.
Just food.
No.
And by the way,
because you can't, you won't go to churches. You won't go to Sonic.
Churches.
You won't go to Subway. It's not just any food.
I go to Sonic.
It's specific places. When in God's green. Oh, David, okay. I don't understand why you do this.
I do.
He runs everything. He runs all of it. All of it goes through David. See, all of it goes through David. No. And if he doesn't want to do something, then we just don't do it.
That's not true. That's not true. I do not wear. It's equal. It's 50-50. It's 50-50. What do you mean no?
You run this whole thing. You run it. This house has David written all over it.
No, it doesn't.
Even if I brought Julian in here, he would tell you, yeah, Dad runs everything.
Okay. Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying contrary to popular belief.
I mean, the whole trope is like the woman runs the house.
I know. Look, okay. I try to talk sense into him when I can, but I don't always win. But at the end of the day, he controls the ship for sure.
I try, I try to be all inclusive, take surveys. I got like a suggestion box that I leave out for you guys to, throw your thoughts in that, maybe I'll read, maybe not, I don't, you trying to.
I'm not trying to do nothing.
Okay. Yeah. When it comes to food, I'll be picky sometimes. And it's not even like that I love Papa John's. There's no good pizza in Denver. There's no good pizza.
Refused to eat pizza from other places.
Is terrible.
I'm not. I said other places.
Domino's, terrible. Oh my God. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but if they want to sponsor us.
Now look at you, just ruining our opportunities.
Oh shit. Papa John's is great.
Okay,
so is Domino's and Pizza Hut.
I specifically did not bring this up to you in person at the time that it happened because I wanted to discuss it on the podcast.
Oh.
David is so ridiculous. Listen to this. We got groceries, okay? And I do like inventory, right? And I know that it's summertime and Julian's going to be here, all day, every day. And he goes through a lot of bread, a lot of lunch meat, a lot of everything. So I like having backups. So I get some backup turkey. And David decides he's going to make him back up, which means that there's additional turkey that's already been open that's there for consumption. David makes himself a sandwich. I start hearing him digging with a vengeance in the drawer of the refrigerator, just digging like a squirrel. And I was like, what are you doing?
Do squirrels dig?
Girl, I come around that corner. He is on his knees digging in that drawer. And I was like, what are you looking for? He was digging in the bag to try to find the new turkey. And I was like, David, there's literally good turkey right there. And he was like, it ain't good no more. It's expired. Nah. And I was like, no, it's not, girl. It didn't expire until August 13th. And yes, I do remember the date. And he opens up new packages because he doesn't like stuff that's already been touched, opened. He wants brand new. If there's already some chips in there and there's a new bag of chips, he's going to open the new bag of chips. David?
No, well, yeah, I'll open the new bag, then I'll pour the old bag in there. All the crumbs in there.
I had to do that. What I do that too.
I do that too. What are you talking about?
I had to do that because nobody did that, and I did that.
Or sometimes I'll just finish off because I'll be like, who the hell opened up?
You see how he be moving on? He'll be like, or sometimes no. Everything that I'm saying is true. You see? And so I was like, if you open that turkey,
but here's the thing.
It's going to be a fight.
With lunch meat, if you don't, you got to eat it within 7 days of opening it. And I knew that those, that turkey
it said used by. Ain't nobody finishing a whole container of turkey meat in 7 days. So what, you eating a sandwich every day?
I could do that every
for
day.
all meals.
I could probably finish it in
That's ridiculous.
2 days.
That is ridiculous. It says used by for a reason. So you use it until then.
No, it says open by.
So you would just
or sell.
No, it said literally used by.
Sell used by.
Used by.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, because you didn't look.
I don't trust it. I have this thing about like expired foods.
Oh my God, it wasn't expired.
Oh, it smells funny.
Look, all I know is that in like an apocalyptic world, I would be the one to survive. And this one, absolutely not.
Okay. First of all, it smelled.
Just like for the most mundane things.
Okay, first of all, it smelled funky.
It did not.
It was really bad.
You ate the sandwich just fine, and I already told you, if I would have made that sandwich before you, like for you, you wouldn't have even noticed.
That's true.
There was nothing wrong with the meat. It was the fact that it was already opened.
But if I smell it by itself, it smells gross.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I got a sensitive nose. If I don't like the way something smells.
Baby, it was good. Like, how do you have a sensitive nose over good meat? It was good. It had just been bought. That was just a backup because we're about to have our teenager here.
I should have waited.
And now I got two of y'all.
I should have had him eat the bad meat.
The fact that you like were digging that deep, boy, you were serious about your quest. Okay.
Yeah.
And had I not been down there, he'd have opened that damn thing and I would have had 3 different containers open all at once.
I would have thrown the older ones away for sure.
That are good? Oh my God.
Well, maybe you're right. I didn't die after eating that sandwich.
And you didn't throw up and everything was fine.
And I said, if I die, I hope you're happy.
He did. He was like making his sandwich with the attitude. He was like, if I die, put this on my tombstone. I was like, wow.
Put the expiration date of this meat on my tombstone when I die. Hope you're happy.
You're so dramatic.
Somebody says, sent it in messages. And am I the asshole for asking my dad to tell my uncle and my grandparents to ask before they come over? So basically, she's asking them to not come unannounced.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with that. But, like, they can ask your daddy, or your dad needs to ask them or whatever. I think your dad should let you know. You know what I mean? Because I get what you're saying. I think that, like, your dad should be like, hey, like, heads up. Yeah. They might want to come over or something like that. Like, there definitely needs to be communication. Like, don't just be showing up over here unannounced.
I feel like whenever somebody comes to your house unannounced, like, it's always the worst possible time.
Oh, always. And especially if it's a grandpa and an uncle. Oh, no.
Like, I don't have any peppermint candy. I don't know what I'm going to feed you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I
don't feel like randomly being... lectured at and like
I'm not even dressed. Didn't even want to get dressed today.
Getting asked how school is during the summer. I just really don't feel like having these conversations. No, but you're not the butthole.
No, please ask me
please. I don't
before
like
you come over to my house.
People showing up unannounced.
Advice on splitting household chores with your significant other.
I feel like people make this a lot more complicated than it needs to be. And why are you at me?
I don't know. It made it sound juicier. I just thought if I did that, it'd be juicier. I'm like,
am I missing something? I think you can answer this one.
What? Why?
I know.
I asked you.
No, they asked us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Just find whatever works for you. Like for us, what we do is randomly one of us would just be like, I guess I'll just clean. And then the other one's like, oh.
Not about to make me look bad in my own house.
We'll feel like guilted into like cleaning a little bit until the other one's like, just sit down. I know you don't, just fucking sit down. I didn't ask you to clean. Just sit down. And you're like, oh, thank God.
I think David and I keep like we don't admit it, but we keep little tallies in our head. So if like I did the dishes in the morning, all of a sudden David will do the dishes in the evening. And then like if I swept during the afternoon, he'll sweep the next morning. Like everything that one of us is doing, the other one is like we tally it like, okay, you had it last time, I got it this time. Am I noticing that right? Like whenever you cook,
I don't. Well, like
I cook the next night, or like when you cook, I'll clean, and when I cook, you clean. Like that's what happened last night. But it's just like it's not communicated.
Yeah, like last night you cooked, and then I cleaned, and then I don't know. I just
I took the trash out yesterday while you were at the gym.
I don't know if I really like keep track of how many times, but there are like some things that like we will both just do regardless. Like I'm the one who does like the vacuuming.
Yeah.
It's just like something that I don't like. I kind of enjoy vacuuming. I don't know why.
Yeah. And I'll do the mopping most of the time.
She'll mop and shit. It's just, I don't know. I think
it shouldn't be so complicated. I think it's more about like consideration.
Yeah.
And the fact that both of y'all live here, both of y'all need to clean up in here. Like, I should not have to beg nobody, to have a nice place to live my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, what we do is that is a little bit petty. And we do it all the time. It's in our bathroom. So, we go in there, we take showers, Avi. And so sometimes we leave our clothes. But when we go in there individually, we'll clean up the bathroom, but we only take the clothes belonging to us to let the other person know without talking about it. You the problem. Look at all of your mess. And it's only in the bathroom that we do that. We're like, all of a sudden I'll walk in and it's only my calzones and only my shorts and I had just been in there and it was both of ours, but he goes in there and he picks up only his stuff. But I'm guilty too. I'll go in there and be like, wow, he's so messy. And I'll like, pick up just my stuff and then he'll go in there and take a shower. So
that's true.
It is. I don't know why, but the bathroom is a petty zone.
I'm like, shit, that ain't
It's
mine.
a petty zone. I just feel like it's just a silly argument to have.
Like both,
if you guys are taking up the same space.
both people just gotta want to not be nasty.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Or just like if you have a person, like if you're dating a person and they just have no desire to clean at all.
Oh, hell no, run.
That's the worst.
Run. Or if you're with a person and like David said, if you get up and you start cleaning and they don't move a muscle, like not even offer, like not even the slightest amount of like, hey, like you need any help, like anything.
And another thing that helps is if you have kids, you kind of get like free.
Don't. You're going down the child labor route, and I really don't like it.
Well, they gotta clean up after themselves.
They do clean up after
Clean
themselves.
up your toys. I'm not picking up your toys every day.
Ezra's already like learning how to do dishes. Julian, was perfect example. He was like making eggs by like 6 years old, learning how to do dishes very young, learning how to do his laundry by the time he was 6-7 years old. And I do believe in preparation for the kids. Like you got to prepare yourself.
They got to learn, man.
And, I don't want nobody needing to do anything for them. Like, they know how to do everything that they need to do. And then, yeah.
Okay. How would you handle disrespect in your own home from a family member? I sense a lot of you are having problems with your family.
Girl.
Is this like something in the air?
There are moments in your life where you will deal with that shit because it's family.
Yeah.
And you go through phases in your life. Everybody goes through it, okay? And you go from like being a teenager to like an early adult, and like you kind of get your mind around it. Like, yeah, I'm an adult. I can do whatever I want. But you don't really think about like, nah, I'm an adult and I deserve respect. The same respect that all y'all adults have, I need to have that too, because they don't give that to you right away. And so then you'll start dealing with people's shit and like being a people pleaser, and that's the phase that you're in. But then you get through that. And we both had to get through it. Mm-hmm. And then you stand your fucking ground all of a sudden. Yeah. And all the fucks that you used to give, they just fly away. I don't know what happens, but there's like a shift in the atmosphere where you're just like, you know what? You need to leave. I'm not putting up with your shit no more. Yeah. I'm not about to do it. And you just be going off on everybody. And you know what? It's as it should be.
Especially like if you come from like a Hispanic family. Oh, my God. And they got like this way of doing things where you just kind of like feel indebted to your parents all the time and this and that, and how hard they work to
give you life.
And you can still be grateful for that,
yeah,
but
for sure.
You don't have to, live your life in the image that they want it to be. And I think the key thing of growing up is probably just getting to the point where either your family's going to accept who you are and what you want to be and how you want to live your life, or they're not going to be there to enjoy the ride with you.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to get over that mental hurdle, but once you do, because at the end of the day, like nobody else in your family is going to stop living their life the way they want to because of you.
That's
like, so
right.
why? You just got to kind of remind yourself of that as you go along, I think. And then you get to a point where you're like, you do that, you draw that line in the sand, and then I think you'll find that more often than not, people will respect it more. And then you really won't face those issues again moving forward.
There is a sense of respect after you put your foot down one good time. And it might take a big moment. It might take you having to haul off and go upside their head one side and down the other. It might take that, but after that, things will be calm. And now you can sit at the adult table and be respected.
But the person you got to fight every day is yourself, because there'll be a part of you that is like fighting against what you're trying to do, because it's just so ingrained and so wired into you that you'll be like, am I wrong? And you'll be like, then there has to be a voice in your head that's like, no, bitch. Like,
yeah, no, bitch. Because like there are like traditional beliefs where, you know, you don't do this and we don't do that and we don't do this in our family. And like, this is not how we've done things. And I'm like, ma'am, you know what? I am an evolutionary person. I believe in evolution and growing. And like, if that wasn't working, why would I repeat that?
Yeah,
so I'm not going to do that.
Be like, oh, not all this shit has worked.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you want me to like repeat history? Because absolutely not. So don't feel bad. You'll get to that point, and when you do, it's going to be glorious. Did you hear about the Jonah Hill situation?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? The text messages?
I don't know. When I first read it, I'm thinking, this seems reasonable. It's
so funny because the text messages really sound like him in movies. Yeah. Like I could hear his voice.
I'm just like, how much therapy does Jonah Hill go to? Like, this guy's talking like he just read a pamphlet on fucking mental health, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is important, don't get me wrong, but at some point, like, man, you gotta like step away from like all the cliches and like all the buzzwords, you know, and like be a human being. And I understand that like you're dealing with other human beings. And I didn't know that she was like a surfer.
She's a surfer. That's her
like,
job.
He's like, stop wearing bikinis. I was like, what?
Again, okay. So that's a perfect example. You get with the surfer. She's in that element when you meet her. Your preference is to have somebody not in bathing suits. Everything that he listed, that is a preference. He shouldn't have dated her. But
they're not together no more. So,
well, that's the thing. But that's the thing, though. Why would he date her in the first place if those are all preferences that he does not like that? But what some people do, and this is for, you know, everybody, people have the ability to want to form an attachment. Even if this person is outside of their preference range, they will form an attachment and then slowly start chipping at you to where you will turn into a completely different person in order to make them happy. And then finally, you are within their preferences.
Plus, Jonah Hill's probably got like his own insecurities about his body, you know? So he's probably like projecting a little bit of that onto his girl. Yeah, of course. How could he not? Like,
man, this was huge. It's plain.
Think about it like this: if Jonah Hill wasn't Jonah Hill, do you think that he would be dating a girl that was a surfer, or like that?
I just don't think that like their paths would have crossed at all.
No,
like,
of course
I don't
not.
think so.
So I think at the end of the day, like I don't know if I'm willing to go as far as calling him abusive. As far as that relationship goes, I don't know. But like, if you're going just off of the text messages, I just think they just didn't.
I like the way that he bullet pointed this. He's a bullet point man, okay? Yeah. And he said, plain and simple.
It's very structured.
If you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model. That was just on its own. To model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, which would fall under modeling, I'm pretty positive.
Guess, yeah.
Friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful. I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it and there will be no hard feelings. Yeah. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. If those are his boundaries for romantic partnership, why would you get with a surfer that takes photos, that has male coworkers, that models, and this is how she makes her money?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why would you do that? Then you're not working within the confounds of your boundaries, preferences, or whatever it is that you want to call it. You legitimately went out of your way to get with somebody who is purposefully outside of your preferences or boundaries, and then you want to chip away at who they really are so that they can become something specifically designed for you.
That just sounds like a lot of work.
That's crazy to me.
I don't know if I would have, like, I never wanted to be with somebody that had to be like just transformed into something completely that they're not in order to like meet what I want in a partner.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that defeats kind of like the whole purpose.
Like if your entire list
is
like, my entire life, I don't think
I don't want you doing any of this, and it's like everything you do.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's something that like she was doing before she met him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just think it's rude. I think it's just unrealistic, really.
Yeah.
And I just think that's, you know, good. I mean, good for both of them for not being together anymore, but seems like they're both better off. But then, so then that comes out, and then Jonah Hill apparently, allegedly, force kissed some 16-year-old child actress, I guess, at a party.
What?
I don't know how true it is, but like that's just what she claimed. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Jonah Hill, he's
man.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know. I think here's my thing too. Like whenever a celebrity gets canceled or whatever, people always come out and be like, "Oh, their music was never good anyway," or like their movies were never good anyway.
Just completely discredit their work.
Like some crazy woman yesterday was like, "Super Bad wasn't good." That's like,
come on now. Come on now.
Like you don't gotta start lying.
Back
you know
it
what
up.
I mean? Like we can all acknowledge like R. Kelly's a piece of shit. Okay, but like you're lying if you said like, "Oh, he just never made good music." Like, be for real. You know what I mean?
There
like,
was a whole Twitter thread about that, about how hard it is sometimes.
You can separate the like
when R. Kelly comes up on the playlist.
I hate Twitter because Twitter's so emotional. It's just so all or nothing. And like the truth is, in life, there's a lot of nuance in life. There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of, it's complicated. So sometimes when it comes to art, like you got to learn, and it's going to make your life so much easier. Trust me on this. If you separate the artist from the art. Now, me personally, I don't really listen to R. Kelly like a whole lot before everything happened anyway. Like that, I feel like that's more like my parents' generation. So it wasn't hard for me to like not listen to R. Kelly.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I'm not listening to R. Kelly because like I'm just so morally righteous. I don't care to. And yeah, knowing all this stuff now, I'm like, well, I kind of really don't want to get into it now.
Yeah.
You know, but like that doesn't mean if I hear like an R. Kelly song that I liked, I'm like, turn this off. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think people just, especially on the internet, man, people just want to look like they're the greatest person in the whole world. Like just to get the approval of a bunch of strangers
that's exactly what it
don't go outside, you know.
Man, don't care about what strangers think of you.
Yeah.
You'll go so much further if you just stop caring. Honestly, just stop caring.
Yeah.
Just do you.
Yeah, like
that's it.
Like what you like.
But it's crazy. Be careful out there because
Don't
nowadays,
like
everything is recorded. I don't even know why he would send those text messages. Call. This is why you have a phone call home, Skillet. What are you doing?
Then they'll record them.
Yeah, and then it goes into that. Like, just be careful. I don't know.
I feel like if you're a celebrity and you're texting anybody, you gotta like. I would just text like all these messages are going to be read in front of Congress one day. You know what I mean? Like that's how I would handle every text message, every interaction that I had with anybody. I would handle it that way.
Yep.
Like you're pretty big YouTuber, and a lot of people know you, and even I'm very mindful of how I interact with people on the internet because I don't want anything to be misconstrued for something that it's not. You know what I mean?
You're behaving on the internet. Is that what you're calling this?
I behave very well.
No, I appreciate
you know,
that.
like because like the same thing. Like I'm like, man, I don't like even when I go out in public. I got to be mindful of the fact that people know who I am because of you. And you got to
behave.
I got to like be mindful.
Yeah.
I can't like, you know, a normal person, maybe they could have a bad day and be like, oh man, and just kind of just let their emotions out a little bit. I can't do that because I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's
you
there.
still be throwing little fits.
I do. But sometimes I get a reminder that, hey, you know, like I'll be at Wendy's and all of a sudden it's like, are you David? I'm like, shit, that's right, people. Like once I went to Santiago's, I went to the drive-thru and I was like, can I get a steak burrito? And the Santiago's is like, we don't have steak. I was like, just like today? Or they're like, no, we just don't have steak, period, at this location. And I was like, in my head, I was about to have like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. I was like, how the hell do you not have steak?
Start yelling.
You're the only Santiago's location in the entire state that just doesn't have steak. The one that I'm going to
so
right
weird.
here, right now. The one thing that I was going to order. You know, like I wanted to go like in this whole rampage. That I pull up to like pay. I forgot what I ended up getting, but I pull up and they're like, oh my God. They're like, you're David. And I was like, yep.
Yo.
Imagine how embarrassing it would have been like, oh man, Nikki's husband just pulled through Santiago's, had a conniption fix. There's no steak.
I'd be like, David would be the one to go off
say that
about some
like, that wasn't
steak.
me. Like,
In a burrito. He would definitely. I feel like that's a hill that you would die on.
it would be. And I'd be like, yeah, I would.
I stand
Not
10
bit.
toes down on there. I sure did.
I wouldn't apologize at all. I would double down. Like, yeah, you should have steak. How are you the one location? Like, what's the deal there?
Nikki, your
Like-
husband.
Like, you guys are making all this other meat there. Why you can't throw steak on there? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's like, is steak not allowed in this jurisdiction? You know, like, what is going on? I got questions. Like,
You shouldn't
it
have been
doesn't
eating
make
at a
sense to
Santiago's
me.
anyway. You don't like Santiago's.
I like their green chili is pretty good.
You never eat at Santiago's.
Here's the thing with Santiago's.
Santiago's.
Like, each location is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you go to one and you've been to all of them. Like, some of them are better, some of them are worse. Like, there's one in, I think, Fort Lupton. That one's surprisingly really good. Hey, when you work construction,
That is the most random thing that you have
when
ever
you work
said.
construction and you like have to work all around the state, you learn where good food is at.
You know, honestly, when you date a tradesman, just understand that you will be hearing about their trade
Yeah.
for years to come.
I mean, that's where I
Years,
spent
their
most
whole
of my life.
Their whole life.
Literally, like half of my life.
Wasn't it half of your life?
Yes, it was. I was there for 15 years. That's half of my
You're
life.
aging yourself, David.
I'm ready. People really be like, "Oh, Dave's gray hair." And I'm like, "Yeah, I got a lot of
It's
gray hair.
sexy.
Got a lot of gray hair, man. What can I say?
As you should.
I got 3 babies, 2 baby mamas. You know, I've been through it, bro."
Yep. You've been busy.
That's how it goes,
You've been
man.
busy.
Yeah. What do you-
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say, man. Plus, you know what? That's like the Lebanese part too, because like all my Lebanese
What,
family,
having 2 baby mamas?
No, well, no, just the gray hair.
Oh.
I like the Lebanese people in my family to just get gray hair.
Because, like, your dad has 2 baby mamas, too.
Yeah, he does.
You know, I think, is this like a generational thing? It seems like you guys are creating a tradition.
Difference is, yeah, I had 2 boys, 1 girl. He had 2 girls, 1 boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of did the opposite.
You guys did the same
I put
thing.
my own spin on it, you know? Had to remix it up a little bit. Copy his homework, but make it look a little bit different, you know?
Put your name on it.
Yeah, I had to, do it my own way.
That is so funny.
I thought I was not going to have girls. I was like, man, I got no bitch made sperm. He's like, you have a girl? I was like, maybe you. He says,
Maybe you.
it's like everybody I knew that was like having daughters, like that's all they were having. I was like, not surprised. And then it happened to me. I was like, damn.
Here comes Mila. What'd you say?
And like,
Just the biggest love of your life, too.
and people were like, oh man, it's different when you have a daughter. Like, as a man, it changes you. Just it's different. You don't know what you're in for. It's gonna soften you up having a daughter as a man. And I was like, that ain't gonna happen to me. And then like there I was in the hospital, and I was just holding Mila. I was just looking her right in her big, beautiful brown eyes, and I was like, you know what? Maybe women should be allowed to vote. I don't know. I don't know what came over me. It was weird. And then like I let you drive home. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, what is happening? I was like, is this feminism?
I think I'm an ally. Mom, Dad, I'm an ally for the feminist movement.
Do I breastfeed now? Like what?
I need to do a lot of skin to skin. Thank
Man,
you.
I got the titties for it.
Oh
I can
man,
do
he
it.
was doing skin to skin with Mila so much more than he did with Ezra. He was just like he had Mila in his arms.
Yeah,
all
when you
the
have
time.
boys, they're like, you want to do skin to skin? I was like, nah, you need to toughen
Let
up.
me throw him up in 10 feet in the air and catch
Nah,
him
you need
real
to toughen up,
fast.
man. World ain't gonna do skin to skin with you. You gotta fucking go out there all on your own.
Better be nice to my baby boys.
It is different though, because when you do have boys, like I gotta tell Julian all the time, because he'll get like a little bit emotional sometimes, and I gotta
just
be
like his daddy.
I gotta be like, man, you need to stop that shit.
Julian has the sweetest heart,
You know?
and he does. He really loves affection, and just
bro.
like he be like laying all up on me, and just like he likes.
And I'm not even like trying to be like mean to him or rude, but I'm just like, look,
No,
man.
he's dad. He's
I'm
just
like,
like,
look,
get up, man.
I'm like, look, when you go out into the world, bro, you're a man, dude.
Dude.
That's how they're gonna see you, bro.
Yeah, dude. Get it right, dude.
My Denver accent.
You already know, dude.
So I'm like, dude, when you go out there, bro, they're gonna see a man. They're not gonna give a fuck about what you're feeling. That's just how it is. Well, like, especially if you're brown, dude, then they're definitely not gonna give a fuck about what you're feeling. Like, so you better fucking suck that shit up,
baby.
That's just life. It's
I
life.
know, but it's just like,
my mom had to have that talk with me, and I was like, damn, and it's not saying that like, hey, you can't express emotion, but when you go out into that world, you can't like let them sing this shit get to you, because, and I know people are going to preach like mental health, and I get it and I agree, but at the end of the day, like, the reality is people outside the internet, they don't give a shit, bro. They don't give a fuck. So you got to get it together, and you got to thug it out. You got to thug through it, and then when you get home, then you can cry. You get yourself a girl, you go home, and you cry, and she'll hold you and say, it's okay.
It's okay, babe. I'm sorry they treated you like that,
Yeah.
those fuckers. Always, all time.
That's how it goes. I'm not saying you can't cry, but man, you gotta
do it in the privacy of your own home.
Yeah, you can't let them see you sweat, and I don't know. I mean, you get mad at me, but that's just.
No, I'm a little softer on him.
That's the reality. I mean, you can't tell me that the reality I lived is fake. So
that's true.
So you can't argue with what I experienced.
I think it's perfect though, because like he's going through his harsh teenagehood right now. Like, his emotions like this, but it's great because like there are times when I'm like, hey, you feeling frustrated? He's like, yeah, and I'm like, go take 5 in your room, just woosah, just take a minute. I'm trying to help him learn his emotions now to be able to identify them in the future in a better way, because I think the biggest thing that I faced trying to figure my shit out is like what I was feeling and why I was feeling that, so that I wouldn't take it out on nobody else or like accidentally sabotage my own opportunities because of my anger. I had a lot of anger. I was such an angry kid. I was angry, like an angry teenager, and I didn't know how to control my emotions, and made me make spontaneous, impulsive decisions.
When you're a kid and like bad things happen to you that like you can't control, I think a lot of that gets turned into anger.
Yeah.
Like, because I had a lot of anger growing up too. And like, I wouldn't say I was like an angry kid, but there'd just be times, there's like a period of my life where I just hated everything. Like, especially like when it came to my dad. And I think because my mom died, so I just had like a lot of resentment. And my parents were never together. So I'm like, man, fuck this motherfucker. Just like, just randomly, like, you'd just be just driving me to practice.
Just minding and driving you to practice.
I'd be at football practice, he'd be there watching me. I'm like, why is this motherfucker here? He's like, good job. I'm like, fuck you.
Why are you even here? Nobody asked you to be here.
Well, I was just a dumb kid, I was just
emotions are
my
crazy.
emotions were all over the place.
Yeah.
And, obviously I don't feel that way now, and I look back on it. I look back on it, I was like, I was just so ridiculous. Like, why was I so
how are you supposed to compute
upset?
that type and process that type of stuff when you're that young?
Yeah, and like, I got 2 other sisters from my dad, and my stepmom who raised me, and so they were together. So I was like, man, why are you guys together? Like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I'm sure Jillian has the same questions, but it's just,
That's normal. That's fucking normal.
That's
it's
why I tell them all
normal
the
to
time.
wonder that. Like, how come this is working out for them and not working out for me? Like,
and I tell them all the time.
It's normal.
Like, I was like, dude, you think nobody gets like what you're feeling or where you're going through? But like, nobody's gonna get it more than me.
That's true.
Like, you're pretty much like a clone of me, dude.
That's
like
why
all the things you're into, I was into all that
divinely
shit.
picked to be his dad.
So
And even as young as, you were when you had him.
Yeah.
I think everything happened for a reason, perfectly in place, so that you could be the best dad to him, and his mommy could be the best mommy to him, and he has the support system to help him through this time.
Yeah, it was better for him for us to not be together. And that's probably the case for me too.
That was definitely the case for me.
My mom even said that, because I remember one time, like before my mom died, I was like, man, what happened with you and my dad? And she's like, I was just a bitch. I was like, what?
I love the realness of it, though. I do. I love the realness.
Like that's insanely honest.
Yeah. What is she like? That's the best thing that you can do for your kids is be fucking honest.
Yeah, my mom was hilariously honest. I was like,
be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just being a kid's funny.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, as a parent, you got to just realize in the moment that they're not gonna get all this shit right now.
No.
But there'll be a day when they're like,
I know.
I was tripping.
Mm-hmm. No, I was hella tripping. Because he has those spurts of frustration where he'll snap. He'll try to snap at me, and I'm like, hey, listen now. I love you. And I'm going to need you to simmer down. I literally ask him, what are you feeling right now? And he'll be like, frustrated. I'm like, all right. We'll figure this out, but I'm going to need you to take a breather. Because you definitely cannot be talking to us like this. And you cannot be having your attitude just flinging around the room. You need to excuse yourself and go get yourself together. Because there's no way to figure out your emotions until you spend time with yourself.
Yeah.
And stop. But I was like, we got to coexist up here.
He's getting it.
But he's so sweet. He's so sweet. But anyways, I hope that we answered a lot of y'all's questions. This was kind of a deep episode, kind of about our personal experiences and stuff like that. So thank y'all so much for coming and joining us on this fine Monday. We hope that you guys have a successful, productive week and weekend, and we will be here next week to start your week off right. We love y'all. Don't forget to follow us on our socials, especially to be a part of questions and polls and future things and topics that we'll be talking about on future episodes. So we love y'all, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.